#WeAreMovieClub.
Hi guys, it's Charlie and welcome to my review of the 1976 film Carrie, which stars Sissy Spacek, John Travolta and Piper Laurie. Now this film is nearly 40 years old and they have made a remake since, but this is a film that you need to see. This is it's an archetypal horror film really. There's moments that are funny, there are moments that are genuinely a bit scary, and the acting is brilliant. I thought that Carrie and Carrie's mother were the two main standout characters. The performances from Spacek and Laurie here were just, they really carried the entire film. No pun intended there. This was an adaptation of Stephen King's novel Carrie, which I had read a few years ago and loved. So I kind of knew where the plot was going, but even so, even for the film and the aesthetic standards of the day, the effects and the sets and all that, this is fantastic. So the basic plot of the film is that Carrie is your very typical introverted, very quiet school kid who has not really got any friends and is just constantly picked on by the cool kids. The film goes that in the showers after PE she discovers her first period, which she knows nothing about, and to be fair, I can probably understand why that would scare the living shit out of her, because, you know, if you don't know about that, then it's going to be a bit scary. Her mother is, well, a religious nut is possibly a bit of an understatement. She's very religiously bound, and everything has to do with God and sin and all this kind of thing. So Carrie never really gets the answers she's looking for, and she spends the film trying to stand up to her mother in a way, because, you know, she wants to live a life rather than being shackled by the religion that her mother has. The kids try and, well, some of them are setting Carrie up for this massive prank, others are trying to, you know, genuinely do the right thing. I get the feeling that Sue was trying to do the right thing by trying to make Carrie feel not necessarily included, but just generally a bit more self-worth by being able to go to the prom with one of the cool guys who asks her there. But to be honest, I think he's just going through the motions throughout this entire film. When they get to the prom, Carrie and the guy are crowned king and queen. A bucket of blood drops from the rafters, and Carrie basically just goes on a bit of a mental rampage, which is actually so cool to watch. Things get thrown around because Carrie's got telekinetic powers, things catch on fire, people get killed. I'm sorry if I sound sadistic, but it was really fun. Then the film ends with Carrie and the mother having a showdown, the house falling in on itself. I thought it was actually going to become a rocket and launch into space personally, but a lot more fire, they both end up dying, and you end the film with the rest of the town trying to cope with the fallout of this, and Sue is haunted by the memory of Carrie really. And I'm not going to lie, when that hand comes out through the grave at the end, I jumped in my seat and swore quite loudly. One slight criticism I have, and it really is a slight criticism, is the way the film is paced a little bit. I know that the bulk of the main part of the book was always at the prom, but it feels like that they take up half the film with the whole prom scenes, and the rest of the build-up is very quick. It works in this case, but I think maybe it would have been better if the film had just been paced a little bit better. I just got the feeling that the first bit was rushed through in order to have enough time to have the whole prom scenes at the end. But again, this is me just nitpicking. It's really not that much of a fault, because this film is one of the best I've ever seen. I liked how sound played a bit of a very big part in this film, because there were extended periods of silence which made you really focus more on the visuals. So when Carrie is realising that everyone's laughing at her, there's no sound at all, and then suddenly you get this crescendo of the repeated phrases, which it becomes a bit eerie. I was sit there thinking, my god, this is actually a bit scary. So I think the way that the sound is done in the film is absolutely brilliant and just adds another layer to an already epic film. So that's my review for this film. Please let me know in the comments below what you thought, because I'd love to see what everyone else thought of this film, because as far as I'm concerned, now that I've seen it, it's one of the staples of the film world of the last 40 years. So if you haven't seen it, please go and check it out. It's on Netflix, so you can get to it easy. Just please watch it. This was my pick for We Are Movie Club, and that was the reason I picked it, because I hadn't seen it and I wanted to. Next week's pick is back to Carrie, I think, and he wants to do the second series of Red vs. Blue. Now, I haven't seen the first one, so I'll have to go back and watch this. But if you want to review that, or you want to review anything, because, you know, we've done this for quite a few months, so if you want to go and do some of the older stuff, do feel free. But if you want to see what we're doing, there are links to We Are Movie Club in the description. Go up there, you can search for hashtag We Are Movie Club to find all of our stuff. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all very soon.